यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शत श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील व्यासदेव की जय। श्रील सुखदेव गोस्वामी की जय। परीक्षित महाराज की जय। श्रील सूत गोस्वामी की जय। शौनकादि ऋषिगण की जय। समवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15. Text 35. यथा मत्स्यादिरूपाणि दत्ते जह्याद्यथा नटः भूभारक्षपितो येन जहो तच्च कलेवरम्। यथा मत्स्यादिरूपाणि धत्ते जह्याद्यथा नटः भूभारक्षपितो येन जहो तच्च कलेवरम्। यथा मत्स्यादिरूपाणि धत्ते जह्याद्यथा नटः भूभारक्षपितो येन Jaho tacca kalevaram.
Bharakshapito yena jahau tacca kalevaram yatamasyadi rupani datte jahyadata natha bharakshapito yena Yatamasyadi rupani Gatte jahyadata Bhuvarakshapito yena Jahau tacca kalevaram Yatamasyadi rupani Datte jahyadyata nataha Bhuvarakshapito yena Jahau tacca kalevaram
Yatamasyadi rupani Datte jahyadi yatanata Bhuvarakshapito yena Jaho tacce kalevaram.
Matajis. Rupani. Yatha, as much as Matsya Adi, incarnation as a fish, etc. Rupani, forms, Datte, eternally accepts. Jahyat, apparently relinquishes. Yatha, exactly like. Nataha, magician. Bhubharaha, burden of the world. Shapitaha, relieved. Yena, by which. Jahau, let go. Tat, that. Cha, also. Kalevaram, body. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: the Supreme Lord relinquished the body which He manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, He relinquishes one body to accept different ones, like the fish incarnation and others. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is neither impersonal nor formless, but His body is not different from Him. Therefore, He is known as the embodiment of eternity, knowledge and bliss. In the Brihad Vaishnava Tantra, it is clearly mentioned that anyone who considers the form of Lord Krishna to be made of material energy must be ostracized by all means. And if by chance the face of such an infidel is seen, one must clean himself by jumping in the water with his clothing. The Lord is described as Amrita or deathless because He has no material body. Under the circumstances, the Lord's dying or quitting His body is like the jugglery of a magician. The magician shows by his tricks that he is cut to pieces, burned to ashes, or made unconscious by hypnotic influences. But all are false shows only. Factually, the magician himself is neither burned to ashes nor cut to pieces, nor is he dead or unconscious at any stage of his magical demonstration. Similarly, the Lord has his eternal forms of unlimited variety, of which the fish incarnation as was exhibited within the universe is also one. Because there are innumerable universes, somewhere or other the fish incarnation must be manifesting his pastimes without cessation. In this verse, the particular word dhate, eternally accepted, and not the word dhitva, accepted for the occasion, is used. The idea is that the Lord does not create the fish incarnation. He eternally has such a form, and the appearance and disappearance of such an incarnation serves particular purposes. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.24-25, the Lord says, the impersonalists think that I have no form and that I am formless, but that at present I have accepted a form to serve a purpose, and now I am manifested. But such speculators are factually without sharp intelligence. Though they may be good scholars in the Vedic literatures, they are practically ignorant of my inconceivable energies and my eternal forms of personality. The reason is that I reserve the power of not being exposed to the non-devotees by the mystic curtain. The less intelligent fools are therefore unaware of my eternal form, which is never to be vanquished and is unborn. In the Padma Purana, it is said that those who are envious and always angry at the Lord are unfit to know the actual and eternal form of the Lord. In the Bhagavatam also it is said that the Lord appeared like a thunderbolt to those who were wrestlers. Shishupal at the time of being killed by the Lord could not see him as Krishna, being dazzled by the glare of the Brahma Jyoti. Therefore, the temporary manifestation of the Lord as a thunderbolt to the restless appointed by Kamsa, or the glaring appearance of the Lord before Shishupala, was relinquished by the Lord, but the Lord as a magician is eternally existent and is never vanquished in any circumstance. Such forms are temporarily shown to the Asuras only, and when such exhibitions are withdrawn, the Asuras think that the Lord is no more existent, just as the foolish audience thinks that the magician to be burned to ashes or to cut to pieces. The conclusion is that the Lord has no material body, and therefore he is never to be killed or changed by his transcendental body. Please repeat the translation. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body which he manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different ones, like the fish incarnation and others. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Name Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु श्री साधु। So today we are discussing from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, the chapter entitled The Pandavas Retired Timely. So in this shloka, so Prabhupada is very much highlighting on the point that the Lord's incarnation, that Lord's transcendental body is not like our material body. So our material body has to go through 6 different stages. Like Prabhupada says, when it is born, then it grows for some time, then it maintains, it stays for some time, then it gives byproducts, then slowly it dwindles, and at last it vanishes. These are the 6 stages, these are the 6 changes our body goes through. We have to change our body because our body keeps on changing. So, but we need to understand from this shloka, Krishna's body is not like that. For that, Prabhupada is giving an example of a dramatist. Just like in a stage we see, a person comes as a hero, and immediately after that scene is over, that dramatist, he goes back and again changes the cloth, and again he comes in the form of a villain. The same person only. It's not, there is nothing like the body is changed. No. It is like, just like it is said here, it is said here, Dhatte jahyad yata nataha. Nataha means one who acts like a magician. Magician. So, once the curtain is down, the same person is playing the role of a hero, and again that scene is over, again the curtain is again put, the person is appearing as a villain. But the person is same. So we need to understand from this shloka, Prabhupada is giving the example of Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Yamena Tishtan Nana Vatara Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Parama Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Krishna has unlimited forms. Just like there are unlimited waves in the ocean. One cannot count the waves in the ocean. In the same way, Krishna has Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Ananta Rupam. The Lord has Ananta Rupa, unlimited forms. And in this shloka it is being said, all those unlimited forms are simultaneously existent. It is not that one form is there, that means if Krishna has come in the form of Matsya avatar, then there is no Kurma avatar. No, it is not like that. Because we know there are millions of universes. This is only one universe we are in. In the universe, we are only one universe. From the Mahavishnu or Karanodakashai Vishnu, there are many millions of universes coming from his body. So each and every universe, again the same Mahavishnu or Karanodakashai Vishnu enters each universe as Garbhodakashai Vishnu, and in the Garbhodakashai Vishnu, in that particular universe, the Lord enters into Andandarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. The Lord enters into each and every atom. So as Kshirodakashai Vishnu. So like that Prabhupada is saying, you can imagine, you cannot count or you cannot imagine how many incarnations of Lord has manifested. We cannot count. It is not possible. Because with each, we see so many infinite number, unlimited number of jivas. In unlimited number of jivas, the Lord is present as Paramatma, as Antaryami. He is present in unlimited Antaryami forms. And not only as Antaryami, it has been said, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. Even the Lord is present in each and every atom. Atom may be very minute. It may be infinitesimal. Infinitesimal means it is very, it's almost negligible. Suppose we say the soul is 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair. So even in that, Krishna can become smaller than the smallest, and he can become bigger than the biggest, just like in Vamana avatar, he became the bigger than the biggest. And as a smallest incarnation, the Lord as a Paramatma, he can be present even in that atom which is of the size of, just we say, micro, nano, fructo, like that there are different, you go minute details. Even to that extent the Lord is present. So we need to understand is the Lord is unlimitedly powerful, potent. He is omnipotent. He is all powerful. He is everywhere. He is in each and every atom. So, but at the same time, the Lord comes as a person. The Lord comes as a person in this material world. Why he comes? It is been said here, to reduce the bhubhara, to reduce the burden of the earth. So why the Lord has to reduce the burden of the earth? Because just like Prabhupada in his lecture, he is giving the example of, just like when the people become disobedient, when they bypass the laws given by the government, then automatically they become burden to the society. Then the police or the department which is handling the law, they have to see that these people are put in jail. Otherwise they will create the bhara, they become burden to the whole society. So just Krishna comes only when those kind of demons are there. Now somebody may ask why Krishna is not coming now. There are so many demons now. Why Krishna can come now? No. So it has been said Krishna will come when demons are also at there is some level like Kamsa, Jarasandha, like Dantavakra, Shishupal, like these demons. We are in the namesake, we may say that we are demons, but we are at no level in comparison to their demonic propensities. So Prabhupada is saying in this Kali Yuga, people are already half dead. Krishna doesn't have to appear to kill them. Because in this Kali Yuga, the situation is just to get 2 times food. Prabhupada is saying in his lecture, just to earn food for livelihood, they are struggling a lot. People are struggling so much just to get their livelihood. That means they are already dead. They are half dead. So Krishna doesn't have to personally come and to kill all these people. But during the time of Krishna, there were many demons. There were many demons who were creating so much disturbance to the Mother Earth. So we know from the 10th canto how Bhudevi, accompanied by Lord Brahma, they went to the shore of Kshirodaka ocean, and they offered prayers, Purusha Sukta prayers to the Lord. So because the earth was burdened, so that time the Lord told, don't worry, he ordered all the demigods, you go and take birth in the Yadu dynasty, so that he will also appear and he will see that the burden is reduced. So we need to understand what makes burden is, yesterday Prabhupada in yesterday's purport he is saying, so there are 2 thorns. One thorn, it will pinch the leg. The same thorn we can take the help of another thorn to remove that thorn. If someone's leg is pinched by thorn, you need to have one more thorn to remove that. So both are thorns only. But one thorn is giving pain to the leg. One thorn is, what it is doing, it is removing that pain. So like that Prabhupada is saying in yesterday's purport, he is saying, although all are jivas, all are part and parcels of Krishna. Name dveshi, what is the sloka? Krishna is saying, I envy no one, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshastina priyaha. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. Krishna is saying, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. Krishna is equal to everyone. But whoever abides by the Lord, whoever follows Krishna's instructions, they will become the thorn which will relieve the burden to the earth. So those people, those who are asuras, those who do not follow, those who do not care for Krishna's law, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, those who don't follow dharma, those who don't follow the religious codes given by the Lord, so they become the thorn, and what they do is they will pinprick the Lord's lotus feet, and again the pure devotees are there that they will remove the burden. So in that way Prabhupada gives the example and analogy in the previous purport. So we need to understand when the Lord appears, the Lord appearance is not like us. Our body, Prabhupada is saying, our body is asat. It is temporary. This body is one day it is going to perish. Just as I have told, it goes through 6 changes and one day it will vanish. And it is asat and achit. It is full of ignorance. This body is full of ignorance. Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this body is full of ignorance. Somebody may say, how this body is full of ignorance? This body is so nice. Somebody may say, I am going to gym, my body is so good. But if you don't take bath for 1 day or 2 days, this body smells. Some bad odor comes. If you don't brush, the next person cannot stand in front of you. This body is full of ignorance. So once His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj was saying, what is great with this body? What is if we think I can give association to someone, what is the great with this body? So he gave the example of one aloo bonda. So aloo bonda was very nice. When that aloo bonda didn't associate with this body, that aloo bonda was looking good and it was giving good smell and it was tasty also. So because aloo bonda, we know the aloo bonda. It is when it was outside, when the aloo bonda was outside, the potato is good. When it was boiled, it was good. When it was fried, it was good. When it was made into bonda also, it was good. But once the bonda went inside our body, and the next day morning it came out as stool, and the bonda started criticizing. See, I was so nice, I was so tasty, I was so wonderful, but just because I associated with you, you took me, and it came out, and my life has become so horrible. So that is the association, this body, the association which we have, the body is that kind of body. It can make a beautiful, even if you take halwa, if you take a wonderful ghee halwa, when it comes out, this body is so ignorant and this body is so made of panchabhutas. When it comes out, it stinks, it smells. That is the body. But this is full of ignorance. But we have so much affinity for this body. The affinity. Prabhupada is saying, what is the main problem is, Prabhupada is giving the example of this 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. He is saying in mathematics, if you have a problem, suppose on the first step you make some mistake. The entire result, what it comes at the end, that will be the problem will not be solved. You will not get the right solution, right answer you will not get. Because the first step is wrong. Because 2 plus 2 you put 5, or 2 plus 2 you miscalculated it as 3. The whole problem, even if you solve it, at the end what happens is the solution, you may try or you may do so much, still what will happen? You will not get the right answer. So in the same way, Prabhupada is saying, he is giving this example and he is saying, the first problem in this material world is, first they are identifying themselves with this body. That itself is a big problem. The first step is wrong. First step is we are identifying ourselves with this body. So we think this body as me. So we try to, because we don't know anything beyond this body, so we try to satisfy this body to the best capacities. So Prabhupada is saying identifying ourselves with this matter, with this body is the greatest ignorance. So here it is been said so only Asat, Achit and Nirananda. This body is full of what you say is pain only. When you sit, okay, so you cannot sit for more than 1 hour. So in 1 hour only, slowly we'll sit like this. First we'll sit straight. Slowly our back goes at the back. Slowly our hands start to take support from the ground. Slowly we'll think even if they give one pillow also it will be nice, we can sleep here only. Because this body is like that. It is prone to give you pain, suffering. It will not give you pleasure. It will give you pain. If you don't sleep properly, it is suffering. If you eat too much, it is a suffering. If you walk too much, it is a suffering. If you work too much, it is a suffering. If you don't work, that is a suffering. Everything is a suffering, this body. Each and every part gives the suffering. Every part of this body. Suppose you have one teeth. William Shakespeare wrote a poem on going to a dentist. He wrote a poem. When we got that poem in the 10th class, he said, he explained once he had been to the dentist and that was a horrible experience. So that horrible experience he made it in a poem. And there he was saying, when a doctor puts the knife and all the instruments to pluck out your teeth, he is saying as if the road rollers are being taken into his mouth to construct the road. Such kind of horrible experience he had. So just if you take one teeth, it's a problem. If you have one teeth, something it is infected or it has some pus, it is very difficult. You cannot eat. One teeth can break you down. A small, one mosquito is enough. When Alexander the Great, he came, he conquered all over the world and he came to India. So he conquered all over the world. He conquered all the countries. But a small mosquito in India conquered him. So he got some malaria because of that one mosquito. And he was claiming himself that, I am the Chakradipati. I have conquered everything, all directions. But one mosquito killed him. He got malaria and he was killed. So one mosquito can kill us. That is this body. One mosquito can give us fever, typhoid. One bacteria, they say food poison. When you get food poison, it is a kind of a bacteria. That bacteria just goes inside, that's it. You get diarrhea, vomitings, and that's it. All your plan. And this food poison is such a dangerous thing. You will be all right. Suddenly it comes. Suddenly, all of a sudden, you start like feeling diarrhea and vomiting, and you cannot do anything. All your plans for the next 1 hour will be collapsed. So this is because of one bacteria. So this body is, Prabhupada says, this body is a temple of diseases. It is meant to give us the Nirananda. We cannot be happy with it. So, but we should understand that because why here it is being said we should understand, Prabhupada is making the last point. The conclusion is that the Lord has no material body, therefore he is never to be killed or changed by his transcendental body. What is the problem with the conditioned soul is, because we have experience that our body is full of suffering, it is temporary and it is full of ignorance. When we see the Lord, we also tend to give the same conception. Oh, Krishna is also temporary. Oh, his body is also temporary like me. His body is also made of Panchabhuta. Or his body is, we tend, because we have that concept. Why we say we should not discuss the pastimes of Rasa Panchadhyay directly? Because in this material world, what we have seen is when a girl and boy get together, we have only the material experience. When they get together, what they do? They get into union, and that is what we have perception. So with the same perception, if we see Radha Krishna or the gopis dancing with Krishna, we'll have the same conception, and we'll see Krishna also with the same glasses. So here it is being said, one should not see Krishna. One should not see Krishna's transcendental body through our material perception. Well, how we should see Krishna? We should see Krishna through the eyes of the Shastras. Just like Kunti Maharani prays. Kunti Maharani prays, what is that? Maya Javannika Channam. Oh Lord, your greatness, your glory and your transcendental attributes, I am not able to see because the Tera, that screen is there. Once you remove the screen, then you can see the Lord in his original nature. Now because we have three screens. One is mode of passion, one is mode of ignorance, and one is mode of goodness. We have these three screens. So when you see the Lord through the screen, so you see the Lord in an imperfect way. You understand, or you try to underestimate the value or the position of transcendental body. So only it is being said here, it is see, considering the Lord's transcendental body as material is so dangerous. Prabhupada is saying in the purport, if you come across a person who is considering the Lord's transcendental body as material, one who considers avajananti mamuda manushim tanumashrita parambhavam ajananto mamabhuta maheshwaram. Whoever considers the Lord's transcendental body as material, Prabhupada is saying, one must, and if by chance the face of such an infidel is seen, one must clean himself by jumping in the river with the clothing. If you see a person who considers the Lord as material, immediately you have to jump in the river, not remove the cloth and jump. You have to jump with the clothing. Prabhupada is saying. Because Krishna, Prabhupada is immediately saying, because Krishna is Amrita. His body is Sachidananda, is full of eternal, it is full of knowledge, and it is full of bliss. And at the same time, there is no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna. So for us, we are different. Our body is different and the soul is different. We are engaged in this body. But for from Krishna, it is not different. For Krishna, there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name, Krishna and Krishna's body, Krishna and Krishna's pastime, Krishna and Krishna's qualities, Krishna's and Krishna's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita. There is no difference. Because Krishna is omnipotent, Prabhupada always gives the example of water. Just like water. Suppose if you are thirsty, you keep on chanting water, 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 the thirst will not be quenched. But if you should have the water in liquid, then if you drink that, then your thirst will be quenched. So like that, Prabhupada is saying, it is not the case with Krishna. Krishna's name and Krishna both are one and the same. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Jagannath Puri, so for the first time when he saw Jagannath in the altar, so immediately he felt unconscious. Because he saw Sakshat Krishna. So only it is been said, one should not see the deity as made of black marble stone, white marble stone, or consider it as dolls, or it is made of wood, or it is made of some metal. Like that we should not consider the spiritual master. Actually, third offense is generally we say disobeying the orders of the spiritual master. But actually they say disobeying the orders of the spiritual master and to consider him as an ordinary person also is an offense. One should not think of the spiritual master as an ordinary person. So then it will be also an offense. One should not So all these things are being said, it is all considered offense. So some people come and they see, just like in Tirupati, one time one person came. And he saw, generally in ISKCON we decorate the deities in a very, with beautiful outskirts and turban and everything. So he just came and he just saw, so he just made a comment. He said, the dolls are very nicely decorated. So that is his understanding. He cannot see, he is thinking just these are some dolls and they have decorated it. For him it is a doll. So Prabhupada says in one of his purports, he says, to non-devotees Krishna is silent. For non-devotees, Krishna is silent. Krishna will just simply stand and just simply grace. For devotees, Krishna is very much reciprocative. So for devotees, deities reciprocate, just like we see in the pastime of Sakshi Gopal, we see in the pastime of Kshirachora Gopinath, we see in the many pastimes of Lord Jagannath, so we see in the pastimes of Lord Balaji, Lord Ranganath. So many deities in India is full of pastimes of many deities with his devotees. So in the same way, when we consider, it is being said according to our vision, when you see the Lord as only a stone or a marble like that, then the Lord will also yayadama prapadyanti tam stadeva bhajami. So if you really pray to the Lord, if you really feel, at least on the basis of on the authority of the scriptures, tasmat shastram pramanamte, at least on the authority of the scriptures, we should know these deities are established by the acharyas and the Lord is personally present here. So when we have this attitude and when we pray to the deities, when we have a relationship with the deities, then we can see the deities are also reciprocating. So that is the thing we need to understand. Here it is being said, so the Lord's pastimes are eternal and the Lord's form is also eternal. So now because now Krishna is not here in this world, it doesn't mean that Krishna is not there. Krishna is there in some other universe. In some other universe still his pastimes are going on. Lord Ramchandra's pastimes are still going on. Nrsimhadev is still there. Matsya Avatar is still there. Somewhere in some part of the planet, in some part of the universe, these pastimes are eternally existent. So it is, Prabhupada also gives the example of a sun. Sun to our sight, we may think, the sun is set. But the sun is not set. The sun is in its original position, shining. But because we are in the evening time, we see it as sunset. But in the same time, the sun is rising in America, in the western horizon. So in eastern horizon, it is different than the western horizon. The sun is always existent. So, but our problem is, we take birth in the night. Just like Miniminupurga. So there is one insect which takes birth in the night and it dies before the sun rises. And that insect will think there is no sun at all. That is our situation. We take birth, we die, it's nothing in front of the Brahma's lifespan. Ours is nothing. We take birth and we die. So, and we think there is no God. So, but Prabhupada is saying here three things Prabhupada is saying. By scholarship, by scientific knowledge, and third thing is by scholarship, by scientific knowledge, by these three things you cannot understand Krishna. You cannot understand Krishna's body. Yeah, speculation. Three things, mental speculation. By scholarship, by scientific knowledge, and through mental speculation, these three things one cannot understand or appreciate Lord's transcendental nature. So one should not depend too much on scientific knowledge, show me, prove me scientifically, or speculation. Just keep on contemplating. Speculation, scientific knowledge, what is the other thing I do? Scholarship. By scholarship, Prabhupada is giving the example of Vedaischa sarve rahameva vedyam. Some people, they are very good at Vedas. Just like once in Vrindavan, when Prabhupada was there, two pandits came to Prabhupada. So then Prabhupada asked them, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Can you ascertain? Then they told that Prabhupada is very difficult because the Upanishad says this way, Upanishad says that way, Vedanta Sutra says this way, and in that Purana it is being explained. It is more, they go through different philosophies, different scriptures, and they say it is very difficult to ascertain who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at the same time there will be some Gurukul boys, small boys. So they will be playing there. So Prabhupada will call one of the Gurukul boy, come here. So Prabhupada will ask him, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So that boy will immediately say, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada will say to this Pandits, what is the use of your so much scholarship and all Vedas? You are not able to simply have faith or understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You say you study these many Upanishads, so much of scholarly exercise, intellectual exercise you are doing, but you cannot understand who is Krishna. Krishna is the Vedaischa sarve ahameva vedyam. The essence of all Vedic scriptures is to know Krishna. So that you didn't know. You missed the whole point. You studied the whole Vedas, but you missed the central point. Then what is the use? So Prabhupada is saying one should not depend on these three things. One should not depend on mental speculation, one should not depend on scientific knowledge, and one should not depend on scholarship. So with this scholarship I can understand Krishna. No, it is not possible. And Prabhupada is saying, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Prabhupada is giving the example of these two shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. One is, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. So this shloka, and another shloka Prabhupada is quoting is, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. So Prabhupada is saying only by bhakti you can understand Krishna. So only by devotion you may do all sorts of gymnastics. You may do different kinds of yogasanas, ashtanga yoga. You may do years together mental speculation. For years and lifetimes you may do mental speculation, and you may be fully submerged in ashtanga yoga, or you may be engaged in simply fruity activities, but you cannot understand Krishna with all this. You can understand Krishna only by devotional service. So Prabhupada, he gives the example of once in Vrindavan, in Radha Damodar temple. So one Mataji, one old Mataji, she was bringing water every day from Yamuna river, and she was every day offering that water to Radha Damodarji for Abhishek in the morning. So she used to come, Prabhupada used to go for morning walk in Vrindavan. So Prabhupada, after Mangalarti we go. Even the Pujari has not yet come and the temple is not yet open. Even before that, she goes to Yamuna and she brings water for Radha Damodar and waiting for the Pujari to come. So Prabhupada was walking with some of his sannyasi disciples. So Prabhupada turned to those sannyasi disciples and Prabhupada said, she is going back home, back to Godhead. So somebody may wonder, Prabhupada, why he said that this lady who is old and she is not doing a very big service, she is just bringing water from Yamuna for Radha Damodarji. So why Prabhupada is telling to sannyasi disciples about this lady? She is very simple at heart she is doing just only patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati. She is doing, and by this simple act she can go back home, back to God. Prabhupada in other way he is teaching his disciples, you don't think that just because you are sannyasi and you are holding bigger and bigger responsibilities and you are doing very big service, that only guarantees that you will go back home, back to God. There is no guarantee. Even a simple lady with simple devotion, she can go. So Prabhupada was indirectly telling to them, just don't have this conception, that idea that, only sannyasi or those who are rendering some tons and tons of service and holding big responsibility, only they will go back home, back to God. It's not like that. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Prabhupada is saying in one lecture, he is saying, even if you think, I don't have even water, I don't have even anything, Prabhupada is saying you can go at least to the next house, neighboring house, there will be some flowers. You can ask him, I want these flowers for worshipping Krishna. Can you please give? Prabhupada is saying if he is really a human being, he will give. If he is a dog, he will not give. So definitely he will give. So with that flowers you can worship Krishna anywhere. You can worship Krishna, you can offer Krishna either in the forest or in the house. And Prabhupada is giving the example of Vidura. Krishna, when he went to for peace making, when he went to Duryodhana, Hastinapur, so that time Krishna didn't go to Duryodhana's house, even though he had made elaborate arrangements, Chappan Bhog, Ashtotara Bhog, not Chappan Bhog, Ashtotara Bhog, all kinds of kingly facilities, everything. But Krishna went to, Prabhupada is giving this example, Krishna went to Vidura's house. And Vidura, because Krishna came to his kutir, that kutir was, when rain comes, it all water seeps in. That kind of kutir he was having. Krishna went to Vidura's house and he was happy to stay there. Then a lavish arrangement made by Duryodhana, Lord didn't go there. Because there is no bhakti. When without devotion, so much of big opulent prasadam you may make, bhoga you may make. Prabhupada is saying in that lecture, he is saying, even if we make a bhoga or offering to the Lord, a big plate, but if we don't have that bhav, see Prabhupada is saying here, Krishna worship is so easy, universal. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yomi Bhaktya Prayachati. Patram Pushpam is not important thing. The important thing is bhakti, that is wanted. Without bhakti, if you offer Krishna very big plate, Krishna is not hungry to take your food. He will not accept it. He will not accept anything if you do not offer with your love. Bhaktya, love, serving spirit. Prabhupada is saying, what we should pray while offering bhoga to the Lord. Prabhupada is saying, my dear Krishna, you are so opulent. I have nothing to offer you because you have got everything. But I have tried to collect these things to my best power. So I am offering you. Kindly take it. Prabhupada says this is the mantra while offering. So Krishna is served by Lakshmi Sahasra Sadasambrama Sevyamanam. He has lakhs and millions of Lakshmis to serve. Even if we don't serve also Krishna, some people think if we don't serve Krishna, Krishna will become, he'll become, there is no one to serve Krishna. It's not like that. If we serve or if we don't serve, Krishna is served by so many Lakshmi Devis. If we serve, then it is an opportunity for us to engage in his service. So Prabhupada is saying Duryodhana's house, Krishna didn't go. Krishna went to Vidura's kutir, and in ecstasy, Vidura didn't know what to do. Because when you see a person to whom you like or you love so much, when he comes to your house, if he is a great personality, you will be confused whether to put asana for him or whether to bring him juice. Or in that hurry, in that ecstasy, Vidura gave. He took the banana. He peeled the banana, he took the fruit, the banana, the main fruit, he threw it outside, and in that ecstasy he gave banana peel, the skin to Krishna. But the fact is, Prabhupada is saying, Krishna ate that skin, banana skin. If somebody comes to our house and we make him seated, please take banana, and you peel the banana, you take the fruit out and you give the skin to him, what he will think? He will think, no, do you think I am a cow? To give me the peel? But Krishna never, it has been said that Krishna, while eating, at least if we eat something which we don't like, at least in the face we have some expressions. Something will do, no? But Krishna was happily eating. Because everything is Krishna's energy only. Krishna can do anything. For Krishna, nothing is impossible. So Krishna was happily honoring even the banana skin, which is offered by Vidura with love. So the element required is love. So Prabhupada is saying how to get that love for Krishna. Then Prabhupada is saying, Sevan Mukehi Jihvado Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grahyam Indriyai Sevan Mukehi Jihvado Swayameva Spuratyada. So Prabhupada is saying, by the tongue, we have to start our service with the tongue. Chant Hare Krishna and honor Krishna Prasadam. Slowly this devotion will come. By chanting Hare Krishna, by honoring Krishna Prasadam. So when you are really, our devotional service starts, but when you are really hankering to love and get Krishna, that time what will happen? Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreya Uttama. When you have really the jignas, that I want to achieve the ultimate goal of life, then Krishna will send his pure devotee. So then by the mercy of pure devotee, again we develop, we get the bhakti beach, and we practice and we advance from Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prema. So to attain Prema, Krishna Prema is the ultimate goal of our life. So the point here is stressed is, Prabhupada is highlighting or concluding the point, one should never think the material body to be like ours. And Prabhupada is also making one important point. We can never understand Krishna. Prabhupada is saying, in the Padma Purana it is said that those who are envious and always angry at the Lord are unfit to know the actual and eternal form of the Lord. As long as we are envious and as long as we are angry, sometimes in our life in some situations come that is not as pleasing as we expect. Immediately what comes is angry. I am doing you this much. दिन बार सुबह से रात तक कर रहा हूं, काली जीवन, पूरा जीवन आपको अर्पण कर दिया, फिर भी you tax me or you make me this much broken hearted, you don't understand my feelings, you say that Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, you are my real friend. That means your real friend means don't you understand my heart? So generally when situations come, then we know how much love we have for Krishna. When everything is fine, it is very easy to say I love Krishna, because everything is fine, everything is as expected as you wish. That time it is very easy to say Krishna I love you. But if nothing is fine, everything is going beyond our thought. Hana, what we think, that doesn't happen. So even in that moment, do we have the same gratitude and the same love? Krishna, thank you so much. You love me so much, and I am very grateful to you for giving me this suffering. So I am really grateful to you, thankful to you. Do we have the same attitude even at the time of our sufferings? So it is being said, because why this point is there, in the Padma Purana it is said, as long as we are envious of Krishna, we are angry with Krishna, you cannot understand the actual form of Krishna, transcendental form of Krishna. Janma karme chame divyam, it will not happen. So envious nature, how do you know that we are envious of Krishna? Suppose if I am envious of, what is your name? Narayana? Yeah, so Narayana plays Mridanga very nicely. So if I am envious of Narayana, he is playing Mridanga so nicely, that means I am not envious of Narayana. Actually I am envious of Krishna. Because I am envious of Krishna, that enviousness is shown through this person. If he is becoming good player, I am not able to tolerate. So the envy towards others, it is actually towards Krishna that we are exhibiting it with different people. So unless we remove this envy, because of that envy, Icha dvesha samutvena dvandva mohena bharata. We came to this material world just because of envy. We fought with Krishna. Why you are the only enjoyer? Why I can't be the enjoyer? We came here. So we need to slowly work. We need to work to remove this envy, to remove the angry, that which we have in your heart. Why you are done like that? Why you are done like this? Instead we should pray, Tatteno kampa susamikshamano bhunjaya evatma kritam vipakam. We should pray that, oh Lord, you are so merciful. Actually I am supposed to suffer tons and tons more, but by your grace that suffering has been decreased to the minimum extent. So, and you are so merciful, and you have blessed me with little suffering. So I am grateful to you. So that should be the attitude of a devotee. One should never become angry with the Lord. Because if you become angry with the Lord, you cannot understand the Lord. Envy, how to remove the envy with the Lord, envy with us. So we should glorify other devotees, whatever best they are doing. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu says in one lecture, he says, if a devotee is doing excellent service, maybe you may not do that service. You don't have that skill or capacity to do that service. For example, Narayana is playing nice mridanga. If I heartfully glorify him, the mercy what he got by playing wonderful mridanga, what he got from the Lord, the same mercy even I can get. When I really appreciate from the bottom of the heart, and when I really glorify him, that you are so beautifully engaging in the service of the Lord. When we really glorify from the bottom of the heart, the mercy what he got, we get automatically. So one should become happy. That is what Kunti Maharani is praying. Kunti Maharani is praying, Shrinvanti Gayanti Grananti Sadhavaha. There is a shloka. You should see others being happy. You should see others' devotional service and become happy. That is what Kunti Maharani is praying. Which chapter it is, Prabhu? Kunti Maharani? Janaha. Achirena tavakam. Yeah, 36 shloka. See, it is been said, Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grananti, Abhikshnashaha, Smaranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Janaha, Ta eva Pashyanti, Achirena Thavakam, Bhava Pravaho, Paramam Padambujam. It is been, the translation is so nice. Here it is been said, O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so. We should take pleasure in others doing. If I am doing Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam, that is good. We should take pleasure in others doing also. So if you do like that, what will happen is, it has been said, certainly see your lotus feet. If someone does like that, then we can have darshan of Krishna's lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. So this is very important. So we should take pleasure in others doing. Only not that I do devotional service, I enjoy, when others do, I don't enjoy. No, we should take pleasure in others doing. When someone dresses deities so nicely, we should feel happy. We should appreciate them. Prabhu, you have done so nicely. If someone like that, each and every devotional service, if someone is chanting or chanting very sincerely, we should say, Prabhuji, you are chanting very sincerely. Please bless me so that I can also chant like you. Like that, each and every devotee, we should learn that art of appreciating. So by appreciating and really glorifying other devotees' devotional activities, what will happen is, it has been said here, you will see Lord's lotus feet and the envy which is lurking in our heart can be removed. So in that way, we should move forward in devotional service. Hare Krishna. So if there are any comments and any questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Very wonderful class. So I have one doubt. Actually, you said about one person came and he see the deities and he said like idols are very nicely decorated. So finally he got the answer or not, like the idols, it is not idols, it is the deities, and Lord Krishna himself, he is there. Got that answer or not?
No, I explained him, because when he told me, because he was one of the guests, so I took him to the deities and I was explaining. So when he made that statement, I explained the truth. But for him, because he is on the material platform, it has been said, no, one cannot perceive the Lord with blunt material senses. It's not possible. For him, it is not possible to perceive that the Lord is there, because his senses and he is so materially conditioned. So even if we explain him, he cannot understand. For him only we can give some prasadam and just get rid of him. That's it. So because it is being said, ones whose senses are blunt ante muddu baripoyina, they cannot perceive the Lord. Even the Lord comes in front of them. So only why the Lord has come in the form of deity is Archa Vigraha, we say, Archa Murti, we say. Because our senses are so blunt, even the Lord comes personally also we cannot perceive. So he comes in a form where we can touch him, where we can see him, where we can serve him, where we can perceive him in the deity form. So I didn't explain much. I explained this is the acharyas they have established. So this is the Lord personally present. It's not dolls. It is Archa Murti. I explained him. So then I could understand that he cannot perceive these things. So there is no point in explaining also. I just took him and gave some prasadam. Yes.
One more question, Prabhuji. So you said about Shishupala.
Yeah.
So like Krishna killed so many demons. So even you mentioned Shishupala also demon. But he took birth in the Krishna's family. And how he become a demon?
Anybody can, even if someone is in the family of Krishna also can become a demon. Just like Satyabhama's son, Narakasura, he became a demon. It is all because of association. By association, actually Dvivida Gorilla also. Dvivida Gorilla was a great devotee of Lord Rama. But because he offended Lakshmana, he got the association of Jarasandha. So why we get bad association is when we offend. Because he offended Lakshmana, Dvivida Gorilla. So why Shishupal and Dantavakra, they are Jay Vijay. Why they got the association of these people? Because they have offended 4 Kumaras. So when you offend devotees, the immediate effect is you get bad association. That is the Lakshana. You offend the Lord or his devotees. Even the Lord doesn't take that much seriously. Even it has been said, Sita, why she had to go through such a struggle. One of the commentaries explained is because she has offended Lakshmana. Why she had to go through such taken by Ravana in Lanka? It is only because she made that statement. Because that deer which was about to die, it shouted, Lakshmana, protect me, in the voice of Lord Rama. So then because Lakshman knows nobody can create any problem or danger to the Lord, because Lord is transcendental. But what Sita said, I know that in the inner core of your heart, you are aspiring to have association with me, that's why you are not going. So Lakshmana was very much heartbroken. So this Lakshman Rekha is not in Ramayana, then it was somewhere in Padma Purana, some details are given. See, he just left. So because she has offended Lakshmana, so she had to go through that. Like that, anybody, the same principle, the Lord is showing through that pastime. Even Sita does some offense. Lord is not ready to, okay, you did offense, I will take you. No, you have to go through the struggle. You realize and you understand that that is not proper. So even Sachi Mata, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so she was offending Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't give Krishna Prem. He was giving Krishna Prem to the whole world, but he didn't give Krishna Prema to Sachi Mata. So, but unless she went and again she took the dust of Advaita Acharya on her head, then only Mahaprabhu gave. So it is always not a guarantee that if someone is very close to Krishna or born as a relative or born in the same family or with Krishna, it is no guarantee that they will be endowed, blessed with devotion. So there are always chances, like Chota Haridas with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kala Krishna Das, they were with Mahaprabhu. So always it is very important that the sound instructions what is been given, always we should meditate, and that way we can help ourselves.
A very nice class, and then when I was hearing your class, I felt it is so important to hear all these points again and again. I mean, as many times we hear, that much we will be in track. Otherwise, every time we forget these instructions and we consider ourselves to be body, and then all our equations will go wrong, and then I remember one of my exam, engineering mechanics in first year engineering. Like I prepared for only passing the exam, so I was sure I will pass. But in one of the sum, 20 marks sum, I took 40 instead of 400, or 400 instead of 40, and then I put everything was perfect, each and every step, everything was perfect, but from question paper to answer paper, instead of 40, I put 400. Then I got, instead of getting some 49 marks, I got 29 marks. I failed the exam. So in the life also, at every step we should be so cautious in answering the question. So in that question, first point we should put, I am not the body, I am the soul. Then our life exam will be successful, we will pass. Otherwise, definitely we will fail. And another point I felt like you were presenting, like Prabhupada's mentioned like Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, and he was mentioning that someone who is giving just water, she will get delivered. So, and Prabhupada made such a system in each and every home, each and every housewife. Every day she offers water, she offers bhoga to the Lord, she offers flowers to the Lord. And then he is actually making way, everyone can get delivered, like that kind of system he has created. Unknowingly we are rendering, he made everyone to render service to Krishna with full faith. So if someone just get associated with his God and follow whatever Prabhupada has taught, then he can get delivered. Like we are following the basic principles of Bhagavad Gita. And the same thing was not followed before associating with ISKCON. Like in our home, like Krishna's worship, some murti will be there. But every day offering water, offering bhoga was not mandatory. Like, okay, when some festivals and or some, everyone's house it was like that. But Prabhupada made millions of houses where every day water and bhoga and flowers are offered to Krishna. And that way he is making so many people's way to Krishna actually. From your lecture I got this realization. Thank you very much.
So sincerely I seek the blessings of all Vaishnavas here, because see, when you speak you come to intellectual platform. When you speak, so only it is been said one should speak. Bhagavatam is more, one can assimilate Bhagavatam by, if you read half an hour Bhagavatam, you have to speak for at least 15 minutes. Then this Bhagavatam will get into us. If we don't speak Bhagavatam, what will happen is, it will just remain like that. Bhagavatam, I heard from His Grace Gauranga Prabhu, he was saying, what is the crux? Crux means the cream and the essence of Bhagavatam study. He was saying, you may study for 6 hours or 8 hours, but if you don't speak, then that will not have an impact. It is better you read half an hour and speak for 15 minutes. The more, Prabhupada in one of the purport he writes, reading Bhagavatam, he says, hearing and explaining is more important than reading them. He says in 3rd chapter or 4th chapter, somewhere. Explaining is very important. So you keep on explaining, your intelligence is getting sharpened. So we don't get into this mental platform. Now we are in sensual platform, mental platform, intellectual platform, and above the intellectual platform is the spiritual platform. And Prabhupada in this lecture, actually to this verse, he is saying, he is giving the example of 2 shlokas. What is the symptom of a God conscious person? He says, one example is, he gives the example of, what is that? One who says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunicheva Sopakecha Pandita Samadarshina. He says, what is the symptom of God conscious person? Means he gives this example, and he gives another symptom is Brahmabhuta Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kankshati Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. These 2 shlokas Prabhupada is saying, what is the symptom of a God conscious person? If a person is in God consciousness, he will have this vision. So he says these 2 examples. So actually speaking, I am also on mental platform only. Sometimes when I speak, I am coming to intellectual platform. Again, after I get out of this Vyasasana, again the mental platform will come. Again, we should keep on. So only it is being said, Shrinvan Supatan Vicharana Paru. Just like a cow, it keeps on, brings back the eaten food and it keeps on biting. So we need to keep on contemplating. So that we always remain on intellectual platform, slowly we will jump to spiritual platform. So being in the most torturing in this world, in the most torturing suffering or the torturing situation is one being on the mental platform. having disease, having this, that's all not problem. But being stuck in this mental platform, no, you be all the time in mental platform. That is like a horrible torture. So one should always show compassion to himself, so that at least keep ourselves on intellectual platform. So slowly we will come to the just like spiritual platform. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam